Izia Bolaji Olojo is our guest this morning, a health coach and the visionary behind Coach Nation. Today, our topic is breakfast for wellness champions. It's just great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so who's a wellness champion? Am I a wellness champion?
Well,
Can I qualify as a wellness champion?
I'll explain and then you decide for yourself.
I'll decide for myself.
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay.
So wellness champions basically are children who enjoy eating healthy food. Yes, they make it look super fun and they bring their friends along for
My mom is still alive, so technically I'm still a child because I'm somebody's child.
Okay.
So I'm a wellness champion.
Okay.
What is it about breakfast, first of all? How is it as important as it is said to be? Is breakfast that important? You know, we've heard it all our lives about breakfast being the most important meal of the day, or even though it doesn't have to be the heaviest. But how important is breakfast?
Breakfast is really, actually all our meals are important.
Okay.
But breakfast is really important. How you start your day, whether you're having it in the morning or later in the day, is so important. And it impacts mood, it impacts learning, especially for children. It impacts energy levels. And that's important. So how we start, I like to say how we start the day of our tummy is very important.
So because of most of the times we have to be here quite early, breakfast can be very tricky for a number of us. And when you talk about mood and talk about how energy, you know, it kicks up the energy for the day, because you find out at times you are, even if you eat later in the day, you find out maybe you are not so as energetic as you would love to be because you did not maybe have that breakfast as it should be. So what is your take? What kind of breakfast should wellness champions have?
Fantastic. And it's important. I want to say something about what you said. Okay. It's important because sometimes you even have something to eat and then you feel good for some time and then the dip happens.
The dip happens.
And that's something that we're constantly trying to avoid. You want to be nourished. Sometimes people just eat. But for me, the goal is that we're nourishing our children.
Our children. So,
yes.
So now, are we talking about the kinds of foods now that they should eat? Okay, please.
The kinds of food. Because it's important. I was reading a study, from Feed for Health, also in Nigeria. Okay. And then they were saying how it's interesting how our income levels have gone up, yet our nutrition levels have gone down. Because we're feeding our children, but we're not nourishing them with exactly what they need.
To win. Do we even know? A lot of people don't even know what they need.
And it's apparent that a lot of people don't know, seeing how much we have, children who are maybe overweight or obese. So it's important. The United Nations is screaming, UNICEF is screaming, Center for Disease and Disease Control is screaming, because the numbers, not only are they high now, projections in about 5 to 10 years are increasing at an alarming rate.
You have a lot of people above their BMI, as it were. And like
BMI.
You said, I went to check this BMI setting. At times, you don't look on the plus size, but you are above BMI, and then you see that you are obese, even if you don't look like you are very big or something. So it can be something. So what are these ingredients, or what kinds of foods are the best for wellness champions for breakfast?
So for children, like I said, it's super important how our children start their days. Okay. One thing that you'd agree with me, a lot of people do in the morning, is that we give cereal.
Cereal, yes.
In fact, there's a term, breakfast cereal.
Very true.
But breakfast cereal is not, it didn't come with us as we were born. Yeah. It's actually the making of manufacturers and advertisers.
Very true.
There is nowhere in the books that says that we have to have cereal for breakfast.
Well, people think that way because it's light.
Convenient.
And convenient.
Especially convenient.
Convenience, true.
Especially
you don't have
convenient.
to cook and spend time and all of that. It's something easy. I put in cereal, I put in some dairy, and I mix it together. I'm good.
Yes, but you want your children nourished, you want them strengthened, you want them alert, especially when they go to school. Okay. So what we should be thinking, a lot of the breakfast cereals we have are simple carbohydrates.
Simple carbohydrates and sugar.
Need, yes, and sugar. So they're high in sugar, some of them are high in fat, and we don't want that. So what we need are complex carbohydrates. And the good thing is that there are actually some cereals that are like that. They're actually high. Of course, I can't call some names here, but I want moms or parents in general to really start to do research. One rule of thumb when it comes to cereal, because one thing you really want to avoid when it comes to cereal are things that are high in sugar.
Okay.
It just doesn't help our children, both for now and for the future.
And they tell you that children at that young age, they can take sugar and it's easy for them and all of
Mike,
that.
I don't know where they get that thing from. There's just a lot of
so there's a lot of pumping of sugar into kids.
Yes, and it's not helping at all.
But the body does need sugar.
The body needs... There's complex carbohydrates. Remember, all carbohydrates break down into sugar at the end of the day.
At the end of the day?
Yes, but you need the good kind because it's energy. It's energy. So when we're feeding our children, you want to think of complex carbohydrates.
So what foods have this? What kind of foods can we get in the morning that can help?
Like, you know, I talked about breakfast cereal.
Okay.
There's nowhere in the book that says that we always have to give our children cereal for breakfast. Okay. Right now, we're making a food in the kitchen, pasta, right? Yeah. Nothing stops us from giving our children pasta, especially the healthy kind, or even beans in the morning, or even potato and yam. You know, somehow when we hear it, it's almost like, no, let's give them cereal. But there's oats too. Oats is great. Oats is complex. And something about complex carbohydrates is that they're slow release, meaning that they tend to give you energy for a long period of time.
Complex carbohydrates.
Yes, complex carbohydrates.
So this is what we'll do as a rule of thumb. We'll tell people to go and check out for what foods have complex carbohydrates and they can take that one. Fufu, eba, in the morning.
Okay.
Does it have complex carbohydrates? We just round up with that one.
Fufu is good, but for children, that would be too heavy.
Okay, for pounded yam, for men, we can take pounded yam.
I'm going to let you decide. That's Mike.
It is a pleasure talking to you. I know you'll be here for the rest of the month. We'll talk more nutrition and wellness. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
All right, we'll take a time out now. The second hour is coming right up.